Okay, people, what we have here right now is a mobile workstation that I think may be one of the best ones out there. This came out in 2024. I didn't get to it until now, kind of regrettably, because this has been so good. This is the HP ZBook Fury 16 G11, and this thing is pretty awesome. It's got a gorgeous 16-inch UHD Plus display, 3840 by 2400. It has an anti-glare coating on it, so it has a matte finish type look to it, and you're not going to get a lot of the glare and reflection. Now, you can see here, I do have a lot of studio lights, but in natural lighting conditions, in an office environment, this is going to be great, especially if you don't want to be distracted by glare and reflection. So this is really good. Got a nice all-metal design here, great keyboard, and a great layout when it comes to the numpad. Now, it does move the trackpad off center, and notice the physical mouse buttons on the trackpad. It's a glass touchpad. It's not a haptic touchpad. I thought maybe at first it's not a diving board style, but it is a glass touchpad. Tap to click works great, and of course having the physical mouse buttons even better. So that's been working out pretty great. Now, this is running the Raptor Lake processor, the Core i9 14900HX. It has 24 cores, 32 threads, very powerful single multi-core performance. If you're a professional and looking for something to do high-end video editing, color grading and stuff like that, this is a great laptop, especially because this display also has excellent coverage of the color gamut. Now, they have other display options. This is an IPS, but they have OLED and other options to go with. But really, if you're looking for color accuracy and everything, this really covers it, especially for the P3. Now, you can do, in addition to high-end video editing, you can do rendering, 3D rendering, because this has a pretty nice graphics card, a mobile professional workstation graphics card, the NVIDIA RTX 3500 Ada graphics. You could go up to an RTX 5000. There are, again, many different options here to configure, so I'll leave links for everything in the description below. And what this brings to the table is a really, really nice workstation. Now, it's not cheap. It comes in pretty high, but of course, that's a mobile workstation. So companies are going to buy this for professional type work. So even one project will pay for it and then some. So really, and the other thing is they get discounts when they buy them in bulk. So not much of an issue for those companies, but for the average consumer, I would say, you know, it's a little pricey, but you are getting upgradable RAM, upgradable storage. You're also getting plenty of I/O. So we're going to get into, I think this is one of the best, if not the best, mobile workstations on the market right now, even here in early 2025. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the HP ZBook Fury 16 G11 coming up. Now, before we get to the unit itself, I just want to let everyone know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by HP. I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. HP is not getting copy approval. This unit was provided by HP, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, pricing is not cheap here. It's a mobile workstation, so keep that in mind. Professionals will buy this. It has a starting price of over $3,000. Price as configured here today is over $7,000. A lot of configuration options, which of course professionals are going to need, and they tend to buy these in bulk, so they will get some discounts from HP. For those that are interested, I'll leave a link to the website for HP ZBook for more information and where you can buy one. All right, let's find out what you get inside the box. Okay, so we have our power charger here, and this, of course, is 230 watts. It uses a barrel pin connection, and of course, this will supply the juice to a pretty powerful mobile workstation, and of course, you get your power cord right there, and we have the unit itself. We'll get a measurement with everything once we get it out of this egg carton here, and then good to see they're using recyclable material here in the packaging. And then of course we have the unit itself. We'll take it out of here. A little bit of heft there, of course. We're expecting that on a 16-inch mobile workstation. And let's get this out of the paper here. Wow, that's a beauty. Oh, it's a honking beauty here. Very nice. And I will say the all-metal design here is beautiful. Wow, that is nice. So you can see it here. It is a really nice looking laptop. The all metal design here. And I love this. This is the latch that allows you to remove the bottom hatch here so you can get to the internals for upgradability. Very, very nice here. Let's get a measurement of the weight. All right, so with just the unit alone, we're looking at 2.586 kilograms, and that is 5 pounds, 11.2 ounces, which is, some weight on it. Of course, we're expecting that. And then if we put it back into kilograms with the 230 watt power charger and power cord, you're looking at 3.329 kilograms, and that is 7 pounds, 5.4 ounces. So a total travel weight. Now, I know a lot of you are going to use this as a desktop replacement, a workstation desktop replacement, and then of course you'll have this on your desk. So you're not moving it all that much, but it's portable enough where you can take it with you from office to home and back and forth. Again, it is a bit of a weight there, but again, this is definitely more portable than some others we've seen. Okay, let's check out the port selection. On the left side is your power port, and next to that are two USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4 ports that are full function, supporting data charge, display out, 40 gigabits per second each, for those wondering. And then, of course, next to that is your mini display port and an HDMI 2.1. Love that. And then you get a full-size SD card reader, and the great news here is the cards sit flush with the unit. They click in, nothing protruding. Love that. Now, moving over to the right side is a 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack, two USB Type A ports. Those are 5 gigabits per second each, RJ45 Ethernet. It's gigabit Ethernet. And then you also get your Kensington lock port to round out the ports on this unit. I would say all in all, an excellent port selection. One minor nitpick, if you want to call it that, I'd like to see those two Thunderbolt 4 ports split up, one on each side, but that is just a small minor complaint. Overall, a very good port selection here. And once again, toolless entry here makes it very easy to access the internals. I love that. It's a carryover from the last gen, and we have it here. Just slide over the latch, pull off the bottom panel, and you are in. It's that easy. So once you're inside, you still have to remove the metal plate, which allows you to get access to the 4 storage spots and, of course, the slots for the SODIMMs. There are 4 of those. So having upgradable storage and RAM is a big win, especially here as we're in the early stages of 2025. Now, as far as that storage, I have 1 terabyte on my review unit, and as you can see from the very fast reads and writes, certainly fast enough for what you need this mobile workstation to do. And it has 4 SODIMM slots, of course, and that allows you to go up to 128 gigabytes of memory, which is fantastic here, which of course professionals will probably need in some certain circumstances. So I definitely love the fact that we're getting upgradable RAM and storage, for that matter, here in 2025. So really, really good. And you have Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth here, and it's slotted in, not a combo that is soldered in. So of course, if you need to upgrade it for whatever reason down the road, you can. And for those that are wondering, the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth have been working flawlessly, no issues with either one. And for those wondering, yes, you can get this with the optional mobile broadband. Now, I really like the fact that HP is offering plenty of display options when it comes to the ZBook Fury here, because you can get it in IPS, you could get it with OLED, you can get up to 1,000 nits of brightness, depending on which option you go with. So definitely one to look at if you are interested in this type of mobile workstation. So great to see all this configuration available. Now, this particular one is the Dream Color display, 3840 by 2400, a UHD plus resolution, 500 nits of brightness, 16:10 aspect ratio. And I got to say, excellent coverage of the color gamut. It's color accurate. So if you're going to do color grading in DaVinci Resolve Premiere Pro, definitely can use this. I got 500 nits in terms of screen brightness, and that is pretty good, especially because this does have an anti-glare coating on it. So no glare and reflections to really contend with. So excellent in that regard. And because it's not an OLED display, no contention with any PWM or screen flickering that you get with an OLED display. So that's a benefit right there. Good contrast, good black levels, good white point. Overall, a very good viewing experience when it comes to this workstation. Now, as far as touch, there are touch options. This particular one is non-touch. So for those that don't need touch, this is a good one to go with, but there are touch options if you do need it. And as far as watching movies on your downtime, Netflix, Amazon, YouTube has been very good on this display. Now, this does have a dynamic refresh rate that switches between 60 hertz and 120 hertz. And if you keep it on the 120 hertz exclusively, you will use more power, get less battery life. So just keep that in mind. We'll get into the battery life in a little bit, but overall, a very smooth, fluid experience, especially with the 120 hertz enabled. I would say my overall takeaway is this Dream Color display with this UHD Plus resolution is excellent. Great choice if you go with it. So this is the camera on the HP ZBook Fury 16, and of course, this is a 5 megapixel IR camera. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. There's a physical shutter switch above the camera for more security and privacy. There is a power button, by the way, on the keyboard deck, so that is also an option for logging in. And it has the Poly Studio stuff. All that, of course, is here. What do you think about the video quality, and what do you think about the audio quality? Now, I bumped this up to the Windows app here, 1440p video. It is a 5 megapixel camera, as I mentioned. Again, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger and the screen goes back nearly 180 degrees. So you're going to get the perfect viewing angle each and every time. And by the way, the hinges are on really well. Very little, if any, screen wobble when typing. I love it. Engineered here quite well. Good job there by HP. Now let's talk keyboard here. I like the tactility, the feedback, and the overall key travel is pretty good here. Very comfortable for typing out long documents, emails, and the like. I really like this keyboard. Now you can change the backlight color and which keys light up in the HP Z Light Space app that is included on the ZBook. So a lot of customization there by the user. So I like that. And it's allowing you to get work done in a dark room, dimly lit cabin, say if you're in an airplane, if you're taking this on an airplane. So definitely usable in a dark room. So I like that. Now the touchpad is pretty interesting here. It's a glass precision touchpad. It's not a diving board style touchpad, and it's also not a haptic. But what it does have is great tap to click, very good scrolling when it comes to that, and doing all the gestures as you'd expect. And it has physical mouse buttons, which are really good as far as tactility. And it's really a nice change of pace here. A really nice touchpad. Very responsive overall. Well done here by HP. All right, let's talk performance. And because this is a mobile workstation, you're going to have a fairly powerful processor, and we certainly get that here with the Intel Core i9-14900HX, aka Raptor Lake, and it has 24 cores. That's 8 performance cores, 16 efficient cores, and a total of 32 threads. So it's not playing around here. Definitely good single and multi-core performance. Everyday tasks certainly are very well organized and well optimized here for Microsoft Office, email, web browsing. Professional ISV certified applications are going to run very well on this. The drivers are certified for that, so you're going to be optimized for those type of tasks. Architects, medical imaging, 3D rendering, high-end video editing. I was able to run the Puget Bench DaVinci Resolve benchmark. It got very good results in that regard as far as 4K video editing. So not only are you going to be able to do DaVinci Resolve, you'll be able to use Premiere Pro and stuff like that. So really good in terms of professional workspace applications. That's really good. Now, as far as the graphics, this has the NVIDIA RTX 3500 Lovelace or Ada Lovelace graphics, and you can go up to an RTX 5000 Ada. This one's the 3500, and as you can see, it has very good performance in terms of the results here. And of course, it's not a gaming laptop, but on your downtime when you're not working, you can definitely get some playable frame rates depending on which title and what settings you choose. But overall, very powerful graphics here. There's no doubt about it. But there are really drivers that are optimized for ISV certified applications. So just keep that in mind. And when it comes to the thermals, I didn't see much thermal throttling when put under heavy load. And in fact, it stayed relatively cool when it comes to the surface temperatures under maximum load, never getting overly hot, especially when you place your fingers on the keyboard. That area never got overly hot. Underside, maybe a few hot spots, but nothing really to write home about in terms of being a concern. So really good when it comes to the surface temperatures. Now, when you are pushing this under heavy load, you will notice the fans kick up into the 50 decibel level, so and above. So definitely noticeable fan noise when you're doing heavy tasks, performance tasks. So just keep that in mind. But when you're in the balance mode doing office work, everyday tasks, it was not much of an issue, stayed relatively quiet. All right, let's talk about battery. And this has a long life 95 watt hour fast charge 8-cell battery according to their specs. And I would say battery life is middle of the road here. It's not incredibly great. It's not going to be MacBook Pro level, but it's, I would say, okay. Now you're looking at just shy of 7 hours on the PC Mark 10 Modern Office test, which is a mixed world, real world test, I should say, and not bad, almost 7 hours, a little bit over 9 hours for the video playback. playback, 9 hours and 22 minutes. And then, of course, max brightness, max load, 2 hours, 1 minute. So not too bad, especially when you compare it to others in the category in the Windows side. But again, MacBook Pro will be much better in terms of longevity when it comes to battery life. Now, they do include a fast charge 230-watt power adapter, barrel pin connection that we looked at in the unboxing portion, and that worked out well in terms of fast charging. Okay, we're talking about audio right now, and this says the audio by Poly Studio, and I think the tuning is really good here. Dual stereo speakers on this mobile workstation, and I gotta say the sound is actually really good. Full bass, good mids, and good volume. Overall, nice, rich, full sound. But of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, let's give it a listen. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the HP ZBook Fury 16 G11? I gotta say, one of the best, if not the best, mobile workstations on the market you can buy right now. It's got many display options, including an extra bright 1000-nit display. Although I don't have that one, I have the IPS UHD Plus Dream Color display. And it's actually really good, especially if you're gonna do things like color grading, video editing, stuff like that. It works out really well. I like the support for up to 4 SSDs. You can go up to 12 terabytes of storage, and you can go with 4 SODIMM slots here for a total of 128 gigabytes of memory, which is great and user serviceable. And speaking of which, easy and mostly toolless serviceability. It's a big plus here. Comfortable keyboard and touchpad. It supports ECC RAM and VRAM support, excellent build quality, and powerful audio out of the Poly Studio speakers. So really, really good there. The negatives here, there's some noticeable fan noise under heavy load. Again, this is a pretty powerful machine. SSD performance may throttle under load, although not really much of an issue, to be honest. Can get very expensive as you start adding more features. It starts to get very, very expensive. However, companies do get discounts from HP if they buy them in bulk, and companies that are buying this are not really so much concerned as price as it is whether it's the right tool for the job. And it can get somewhat heavy or bulky, although for a mobile workstation with this caliber of performance, it's really not that bad. So overall, an excellent outing here from HP ZBook line, and I highly recommend the HP ZBook Fury 16 G11 if you're in the market for a powerful mobile workstation.